What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. So, welcome to episode 211 in Shadows and Pretties. So, today we are going to be do a review on the second Saw movie called Saw 2 that came out in 2005. Excuse me. So, it was directed by Darren Litt Belsman, written by Leg Whannell, and it is a sequel to the first Saw movie that came out in 2004, the second installment of the Saw series. So, I guess with that being the case, that being said, let's get started with this movie. Now, this is a sequel to the Saw movie, like the first one. So, yeah, I decided to review the second movie. So, now I am going to say right now, these Saw movies are, like I kind of said in the first one when I reviewed the first Saw movie, that people may find this movie very squeamish, is why they probably just only watched the first one, but then they never watched the second one again, or any other movies because of it. So, yeah. I actually saw the other Saw movies, like in high school, like in my high school years, but I still found the movies to be quite good. Yes, I know they went extreme with the blood, the gore, and the deaths and all, but I still found this movie to be a pretty good horror movie, especially for Halloween time. So, basically, the plot begins with the police informant, Michael Marks, who awakens in a room with a spike-filled mask locked around his neck. He refuses to retrieve the key from his eye, but he gets killed when the mask closes. And at the scene of Michael's murder, Detective Allison Carey finds a message for her former partner, Detective Eric Matthews. Matthews joins Carey and Officer Daniel Rigg in leading a SWAT team towards a factory which produced the lock for Michael's trap, and they apprehend John Kramer, the jigsaw killer, who indicates the computer monitors showing 8 people trapped in the house, including his one only known survivor, Amanda Young, Matthew's son Daniel, and 6 other victims like Xavier, Jonas, Laura, Addison, Obi, and Gus. A nerve agent filling the house will kill them all within 2 hours. But John assures Matthew that if he follows the rules of his own game, he will see Danielle again. So at Carrie's urging, Matthews agrees to buy some time for their tech for each other for it to arrive and trace the video signal. During this conversation, John reveals to Matthews that one of his main motivations is to become Jigsaw was a very messed up attempt after his cancer diagnosis, which led to the Newfoundland operation for his life. His game's purpose to help his victims develop the same appreciation. So the group gets informed by the microcassette recorder that antidotes that are hidden throughout the house. One is in the room safe, and the trap provides a cryptic cue, which Gus ignores the warning and uses the key provided with the cassette onto the door, which triggers a gun which the peephole that kills him. So once the door opens, they search the house to find the basement, where Ubi then helps abducting the other victims, gets killed in the furnace trap while trying to retrieve 2 antidotes. In another room, Xavier's test involves digging through the pit filled with syringes to retrieve the key within 2 minutes. But instead, he throws Amanda into the pit, so she retrieves the key, but Xavier fails to unlock the door in time. So throughout the game, the group discusses connections between them and determine what has been incarcerated before except Daniel during his father's test. So John reveals their affiliation to Matthews, who is a corrupt police officer, framing his suspects in various crimes recently. So Xavier returns to the safe room and finds a number on the back of Gus's neck. After realizing the numbers of the combination for the safe, he kills Jonas and begins hunting for the others. Laura succumbs to the nerve agent and dies, but after finding the clue retrieving Daniel's identity, incensed by the revolution, Addison leaves on her own and finds a glass box containing the antidote, but her arms end up becoming trapped with openings that are lined with hidden blades, so Xavier enters the room and leaves her to die after reading her number on the back. So Amanda and Daniel find a tunnel to the first room, leading to the duplicated bathroom after Xavier corners them. Amanda taunts him by implying that he will not learn his number because nobody will read it to him. Xavier responds by cutting off a piece of skin from the back of his neck to read his number. Xavier charges them while Daniel slits his throat with a hacksaw, and seeing that Xavier chasing his own son, Matthews assaults John and forces him into the house. So the tech team tracks down the video sources, and while Riggs' team searches for the house, Carrie realizes that the game took place before they capture John until the form timer for Matthews' game expires, revealed Daniel inside the safe, bound to be breathing in the oxygen mask, unaware of these events. Matthews enters the house alone and makes his way up to the bathroom, where he is substituted by the pig-masked figure. He wakes up shackled at the ankle at the pipe and finds a tape recorder left by Amanda, who reveals that she's been working and had become John's accomplice after surviving the first trap and helped him set up Matthew's test during the game at the house. Intending to continue John's work after he dies, Amanda then appears and seals the door, leaving Matthews to die as John hears his screams outside and smiles, and thus how the movie ends. Now, I'm going to definitely say right now that Saw 2 was immediately green-lighted after Saw's successful opening weekend a year earlier, which that's why they made the second Saw movie. And I definitely got to say, there is a lot of good cast and crew and a lot of other concepts for this movie, as well as the filming, and the soundtrack is pretty good too. And I do know that Saw 2 was released on VHS. However, it was the last of the horror movies to be released on VHS until they started to, go on with just DVD releases, because not a lot of people use VHS players anymore. I mean, I still have my VCR, but I haven't used it in a while. So, I gotta definitely say, the movie itself is a pretty gory movie, just kind of like how the first movie was. And I mean, when I saw it, I honestly do know for a fact that, it is a really awesome movie with the whole, concept. I mean, I like how the characters, have really good ways of what they're supposed to do in that. And the fact that, the death scenes were pretty amazing, as well as the traps. I mean, yeah, I know they were pretty gory and messed up in matter of sense, but I still found it to be a really good movie, regardless of what people say about this movie. But like I said, everyone has their own opinion when it comes to this movie. I know there is a game called Saw 2 Flesh and Blood, which I have never played any of the Saw games, but I may consider playing them one day, but that's going to depend if I ever do decide or not. But I gotta really say, Saw 2 is a really good sequel to the first Saw movie. Like, I think when I first saw this, I honestly do know for a fact that, it is still pretty messed up, yes, but it's also still pretty gory like how the first one was. And I know all the other Saw movies are pretty gory too, which that's kind of why I do plan to do a review on Saw 2 for any of you guys wondering. Now, I would review all of them in one video, but that would just be taking a little long. Too long, actually. So, yeah, I'm going to be reviewing the other Saw movies whenever I decide to. I don't know if I will review Saw 3 in the next episode. Maybe I might. But I definitely have to say, it is still a really awesome story. Like, I mean, all the actors did a great job. It is a pretty good sequel to the first Saw movie. Like, when I first saw the first one, I honestly really thought that, Jigsaw, the puppet, was creepy in the first one. And he still is creepy today. Now, I do know that there is a 2017 horror movie called Jigsaw, which I do have planned to yet review it. I just don't know when I'll be able to review that, because that's going to depend if I decide to review it or not. But I definitely have to say, it's a really awesome movie. And I do really think that, horror fans, if you guys like it, you should go review it if you have not, because this is honestly a pretty good movie, and you will not be disappointed, because when I first saw the second movie. I honestly do know for a fact my mom never wanted me to watch the Saw movies when I started becoming a horror fan, but now that I'm old enough, well, I saw this first movie when I was 18 and it didn't faze me, and the other movies didn't faze me at all. I mean, yeah, there were parts of it that went extreme with blood and gore and deaths, but it was still pretty interesting and amazing. I remember Dead Meat channel actually did kill counts for for the Saw movies, if I remember correctly. I don't know if they did it for all of the Saw movies. Well, they might have, but if you guys do know who Dead Meat is, yeah. I think his name is James. I could be wrong on who his real name really is, but he basically, does kill counts for, movies, horror movies and that. I've seen a couple of them. One of them being the Zombieland movies, which I thought that was pretty awesome. And I do know for a fact he's done a few Saw movies. I could be wrong if he did the Saw movies because I can't honestly remember if he did them for the Saw movies or not. But please let me know in the comments below if you think he has or not, because I really would like to know. So, I guess with that being the case and with that being said, I'm going to sit here and just say right now that this is just simply my own personal opinion on this Saw movie, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these, movies. If you don't like this movie, that's fine. If you like this movie, that's perfectly cool too, because, this is just my opinion. So, anyways, I guess with, that being the case, and with that being said, well, what did you guys think about this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what you have done personally to help make this, movie a lot better? Feel free to leave me what your thoughts are down in the comments below. I'm the Lion Queen. I want to thank you so much for watching today's episode, and if you're brand new here to this channel, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace out.